Hey guys, we have a new t-shirt we're gonna do. We have had a couple people say that they wanted to see a mandala on a t-shirt, so that's what we're gonna do, but I thought we'd do another Hemostat mandala on this t-shirt. So I have 10 Hemostats, links in the description box below, and that's all we're going to use except for some kite string to hold the rest of the fabric together. Now, I'm not drawing anything on here, so you don't really need a marker. I just have this out for no reason. And let's get to it. So I only want the mandala on the front. So we're going to split this way. Now these t-shirts, this is a George brand t-shirt from your local Walmart. Now they don't have hems on the side, so my best bet to make sure that this is gonna line up. By the way, I'm tucking one sleeve into the other and lining up the collar and the hems on the top. I keep calling them hems. I have no idea what they're actually called. So I'm lining those up, putting the sleeve through there, lining that up. Now, definitely recommend getting a shirt that has the sewing on the side so that it's easier for you to match your stuff. So now I have that. I have my collar part is matched. Now the rest of the shirt. So if you have that matched, it kind of helps you match the rest of the shirt, because if you mess that up, then the rest of it's going to be messed up. So if you have your collar matched and lined up, you can stick your finger or your whole arm up in here and kind of pull. And if you do that, it pretty much lines it up for you, as long as this doesn't get messed up, which I'm holding to make sure that it's not. So I'm sorry in advance. These are the t-shirts that I stock up on. So that's my bad. So I am going with this. Now we have a matched up shirt. Alright, so for, like I always tell you guys, when you do a t-shirt and you put a design on it, you don't really want it on your stomach. So if you're making this t-shirt, keep in mind you kind of want the design up on your chest like most other shirts. So you're probably not going to want to fold this directly in half, because then it's going to land like right in the middle of the shirt, which is fine if you're doing like a huge mandala that covers the whole front. That's totally fine to do. But this one, it's iffy. It could very well take up a lot of the shirt, but I don't want to take any risks. So I'm going to fold the shirt the way that I want it to. So when you're folding a normal mandala, like on a tapestry, you fold in half and fold in half again. So just consider this piece already folded in half once. So you're gonna fold it in half one more time, but you're gonna wanna basically decide where you want the center of your mandala. So I'm gonna go like right below the armpit just a little bit. So we're gonna fold this up to about there. So the armpit is here. So I have the center of my mandala right here. Now, I know this looks funny, so bear with me, but I got the sleeve and everything right there. So this, you're gonna wanna match to the very front of the top of your shirt, so that it's lined up correctly. So if that means you have to fix the rest of this, definitely do so. So you just need to smooth out some extra wrinkles is all. Okay. So now, this is going to be the center of your mandala. You're going to flip this up, smooth out. I mean, the rest of this is all going to be scrunched, so past here probably you don't really have to care about everything else. And then you're going to fold it up one more time. And then you're going to grab all of this fabric and flip it over. And then you're going to do the same with the collar. So you're going to grab the collar and flip the collar up. Smooth out all of these little wrinklies if you can, without ruining your half fold mandala. And then you're going to go one more time. Come on now. So this is going to have like right under this armpit here. All right. Definitely not a perfect fold at all. But good thing we're using Hemostats. So I have smaller sized Hemostats. Half of them are curved and half of them are straight. So let me show you real quick. So this one is curved and straight. So there are 5 of these and 5 of these, so I'm just going to use them all up. But just so I don't want the mandala to look extra funny, I'm going to alternate them so it kind of gives it a little different shape every time you see a new petal. So I'm going to start with the straight one. Now just make sure you have this folded the way that you want. If you're not happy with it, definitely fix it, okay? So I'm going to start on this side. These are lockable, so you can lock them and they won't come apart on you. I have the curved and straight, like I said, so I definitely need longer ones though. Now be careful with these. You don't want to tug while you have them locked to your shirt, because if you pull it too hard, it's going to definitely rip your shirt open, so you'll have holes. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I'm just going to get it where I want it and clip it to where it'll close. So this is going to create a white line for a petal. So now we're going to pick a curved one and do the same thing but on the other side, so we have another petal. So get it in there and clamp it down, and we're going to alternate the straight and the curved ones. But if you don't have one or the other, that's okay. You don't have to do that. If you don't even have Hemostats, you can definitely do a mandala still. So I'll have to do another video for one that's all Sinew. I'm happy to do that anyways, so we'll definitely do that too. I definitely like the way that the Hemostats make it look, so I'm okay with doing the Hemostats. So you're definitely not going to get all the fabric in there every single time, because it's going to get wider and wider all the way up. But I'm more worried about the tips of the petals. I feel like they look really cool with the straight white lines or the curved white lines. So that's why I'm doing this. So now you're going to kind of play with these how you want them. And if you want to try to fit more fabric in there, you can, because I'm doing that. We're just going to go until we run out of room or we run out of Hemostats. There we go. These get a little hard to work with after putting so many on them. If you haven't seen my video with the face masks, I do a mandala face mask with these Hemostats, and it looks so funny because there's like 4 or 5 Hemostats on them. And it looks super hilarious, honestly, because it's just a little tiny mask with tons of big old hemostats on it. But you know, gotta do what you're working with here. So now I'm kind of just grabbing a bunch of fabric and clipping it. You definitely don't have to do that if you don't want to. I normally try to get it to be close to the next hemostat, just so it kind of gives it some shape. You don't have to do that. Like I said, it's going to make some cool white lines anyways, but if the fabric's too thick, it's going to give you an issue. So now we're getting close to the end here. Now I am thinking that I'm going to ice dye this shirt because I can put whatever color powder I want through here in whatever spot I want. And yes, it can bleed, and you know what, I'm okay with that. I think that sometimes ice dye does magical things, and I like to let it do magical things, so I'm okay with that. One more, and then we shall kite string. So I definitely need some bigger hemostats for this. Okay, so there's that. Now the rest of this t-shirt, you can do whatever you want with. You can open it up and add some swirls to it. I'm definitely just scrunching because I am more worried about what the mandala is going to look like rather than what the rest of the shirt's going to look like. So I'm just going to scrunch all that up and use my kite string. Now, if you don't like the hemostats, I totally get it. They are mostly good for smaller mandalas. However, if you do have the big hemostats, they do come in handy for some perfect lines. Now, my mask that I did with them didn't turn out exactly like super perfect because I feel like the mask fabric turned out to be super weird and super absorbent. So I feel like no matter what I did with the hemostats, that was gonna look kind of crazy. So well, alright, that's enough. So we're gonna tie that. Now we're gonna let this dry out for 24 hours at least. If it's still a little too damp, I would go a little longer. And then we're going to ice dye this because I feel like it would look super cool. I'm definitely gonna go with colors that are okay to be mixed. I don't really want any brown, so I'm gonna try to steer clear of that. So this is gonna dry out and then we'll be right back to dye it. Alright, you guys, so this is our Mandala t-shirt. It's all dried out. Today I am going to use sea green, lemon yellow, emerald green, and seashell blue for this shirt. I haven't been able to use the sea green in a while, and I really wanted to use it this time. So I already have soda ash sprinkled on here. I'm going to put the dye on. Then we'll move this baker's rack to our Rubbermaid tote, put the ice on top. It's going to sit for 24 hours at least. Check the bottom very slightly, lift this up so you can see if the bottom looks exactly how you want it to look, like no white, for example. And then we'll be ready to open it up, so we're going to get started. Hey guys, so we are back with our Mandala t-shirt. So I use very pretty colors. I think it looks really good, and I'm excited to see what it looks like. So we're just gonna get it opened up. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you're not gonna want to miss all the other cool stuff we got coming up. I always do tapestries. Always do tapestries, which most people seem to like just for ideas. So that's my main thing. So I just gotta get rid of all these Hemostats. Alright, so the back first, seashell blue scrunch. And then let me straighten this real quick so we can get the full effect, but it's super duper awesome. Alright. Yeah! Look at that mandala, guys. So we did lose the yellow, however, I think it mixed with the emerald and the sea green in between each, and it made a really pretty color anyways. I love it. It's awesome. I hope you like it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and also comment and tell me what stuff you want to see next. I would love to hear some more ideas. And you guys are my muses, if that makes sense. So thank you guys for watching and happy tie-dyeing.